Hey everyone, welcome. Today we're going to talk a little bit about branding just for a couple minutes. I wanted to review some of the key things about making your brand. So, welcome. I'm going to let you guys join. Hello, Jessica. Hello, Erica. Hi guys, welcome. Yay! It's been so long since I've done a live. I've just been jetting off to New York and dealing with my house flood. Who can believe these things are happening? Not me. I don't know. All right, so hi Amy, how are you? Hi Jessica. Hi Naisha, hi Anna. Okay, so what we're going to do is talk today about the key elements of brand, because I think a lot of time when we talk about brand, people think immediately brand identity. And brand identity is all of the little graphics, your logo, your color palette. That's brand identity in a sense, like how are you presenting your brand? Hi Justin. But actual branding is much more than that. So when you think of your brand, most people like to go right to brand identity. They like to think, well, this is my color palette, because it's easy and it's fun, right? Color palettes are easy and fun and they're exciting. They want to go right to their logo. They want to go to their website design, and all of those things craft your brand identity, but they don't make up the heart of your brand. And I feel like when people say I'm rebranding or I'm doing some new branding, that they're really focused on how everything looks, which we're in creative industry, so that is important, how everything looks. But at the heart of it, if you're struggling to book clients, the heart of that is, what is your brand? So I want to go over 6 key elements of brand really quickly. Just pop in and give you guys a reminder. I feel like we're at the beginning of the year. We're already 1 month into 2019. We're all trying to do our best and really get our businesses growing. And so I want you to just have this idea in your mind. Hi Michelle, about your branding. So 1, vision. What is the future of your life? What is the future of your business? What is the future? So you have to always be thinking 1 to 3 to 5 years ahead in your business. That's very hard. And I have a 10-year vision. I always kind of craft it out 10 years, break it back into 5 to 3 to 1 to then what do I need to do this week? So what is the vision? Why are you doing this? And we ask that question all the time, but I think so many of us get tired of that question that we detach from it. We think, well, I'm doing it to take pretty pictures, right? That's what I'm doing. I'm doing it to capture love. That's a big one. But ultimately, you're running a business, I think, so that you have a space for your artistry. I think so that you can make money off your creativity. I think so that you can connect with other humans, right? Especially if you're a photographer, it's so much about connection. So what's the future? Where will your business go when you can't photograph weddings any longer? I'm getting very old. I'm not going to be able to do it for much longer. So what does my business transition into? What do I want to make it? So your vision of your business, I write this down every year, and I get it's really fun to not do this activity alone. It's fun to be with other like-minded people. So all of you guys on this call, reach out to each other and really sit and talk about your vision with somebody else who's an entrepreneur. It's really hard to talk about your vision to your dad who's an accountant, because he just won't get it, because he's been doing 9 to 5 work for years, and so he's not going to get your creative vision. He's going to be like, that sounds like a lot of work. That's what my parents always say. Darcy, it just sounds like a lot of work. I'm like, it is, but it's way better than being stuck behind a desk for my entire life. So you want to find somebody, yes, or your husband who's an engineer. All of you married to engineers, bless you. They probably help you really organize your house, I would imagine. My friend who's married to an engineer says that her garage has the most incredible shelving system ever. That is awesome. But talking about running your creative business or your vision of your creative business, it's really helpful to get another creative on your side. And then from that grand overall vision, how much money you want to make, who you want to impact, I think asking who you want to impact is one of the most important things. Then you need to think about your mission and your values. So here's an interesting way to think about your brand values. So let's take, I was sharing this with one of my coaching clients the other day, and I thought it was a really good illustration. So let's take Walmart, and let's take something high-end, like, I don't know, Anthropologie or something, you know. So Walmart, their brand value basically is we are the cheapest place in town. Like, we treat our workers bad, right? People who shop at Walmart should know this. They don't give their workers insurance. They do all these other things, right, that are misaligned with my personal values, which means I actually don't shop at Walmart. If all of you shop at Walmart, forgive me if I'm saying this, but you should think about what Walmart does. Just kidding. Okay, this is not a political Instagram live. But I don't shop at Walmart. My brother shops at Walmart all the time. He has 3 young kids. He makes $30,000 a year. His main value is I need to find the cheapest thing possible because I have kids and I don't make a lot of money, right? We're all like, so I bought a blanket, like I bought a throw from Target and it was like $49. I just bought like this beautiful wool alpaca one. I think it was from Anthropologie, and it was like almost $400. Okay, for a blanket. I know. Don't judge me. This is what you invest in when you're older and you've worked hard. So that blanket, they wrapped it in a beautiful package, and they sent a note in the note that said, look at who you're supporting. They had a picture of the women that I was supporting and their businesses by having fair trade and paying the right price for artisan crafts. So they like totally hit me because their mission, their values is that no, we're going to charge a fair rate, and we're going to hire beautiful artists, and we're going to pay them well, and we're going to make sure that our product does not hurt the world. Now, we all see that from those of us who buy organic to not buy organic. Now, there's no judgment on if you're buying organic or not. I'm saying your brand values. So if you're sitting there struggling with price, which I know you all do, because all artists do at all times of their lives, they're always struggling with how to price themselves. If you're sitting there struggling with price and you're worried that you're too low, then you need to look at your values, right? So, and what I see in the market is I see people who are booking like $3,500 weddings, and they want to jump up to $8,000 weddings, but they haven't actually gotten the portfolio, or they haven't had enough clients who represent the new rate, because there is a different client brand value if you're booking a $10,000, $8,000 to $12,000 photographer versus booking a $2,000 to $5,000 photographer. Those two people have different values. They value different things. Okay? So you have to look at what are your brand values. Is it very important for you to shoot film? It's very important for me to shoot film. I feel like it's totally my brand value is people need to understand they're paying more of a premium price because of a more premium product. In my book, digital is great. I still shoot digital, but like you have to think about what your brand mission is and your brand values. The next thing you have to think about is the position. So this is what I call market research, and I feel like far too few people do this. In my big marketing course that I put out once a year, I have a whole section on how to do the right market research, because you have to understand where you're positioned in the market. And what I feel is you guys all understand that you're in a saturated market and there's 15 other people just like you, and that's your position, and you aren't going to book enough jobs. Raise your hand if that's kind of right. Are you with me? Are you guys awake, alive, into it? maybe that's not any of your problems. I feel like it's a huge problem when I talk to creatives, is that they feel like their position in the marketplace is one of being one of many, and they don't know how to stand out, and they don't know how to make things work, and they don't know how to make themselves different from the 12 other film photographers in their area. And so that's positioning. So to understand positioning, you have to, you need to do all the research of who is your biggest competitor. Not so you can like take them down, although I kind of like a healthy competitive spirit. Not so that you can be afraid that there's so many just like you. You guys have to stop being like so afraid of your business and so terrified that it's going to go away and so worried. Like there's so much terror and worry and fear, and none of those emotions are problem-solving emotions. Problem-solving emotions are excitement. Like, let's bring it to the table. Let's get this going. Let's like use my curiosity. Let's use the intelligence that I have, and let's solve the problems of my business. Let's do that. So with your positioning, you really want to look at who around you is the same. What are they offering? What price point are they offering? And then you get to start thinking about how you can fill certain gaps that are being missed. This is how every great business has really profited. Like you think about Blockbuster. Blockbuster went bankrupt. Remember, who is old enough to have rented movies from Blockbuster? Please don't say it's just me. So Blockbuster was like the top video supply place on the planet, in America. And then this little thing called Netflix came along. And Netflix was tiny. And they were like, you know what? People don't want to leave their house to rent a movie. And this is before all the streaming and everything. I know, it seems so long ago. And so Netflix would mail you your videos. Now, Netflix approached Blockbuster and said, hey, this is what we're doing. We think you should do it. Do you want to buy us out? And there were old men working at Blockbuster. Why is it always old white guys who just can't adapt? I don't know. But they were working at Blockbuster, and they were like, no, this is a stupid idea. People want to come to the video store. They want to pick it out. They want to see all the videos. They want to wander. It's a cultural thing. And so Blockbuster passed, and Netflix just did their thing. And now, Netflix like dominates everything. It's like multi-billion-dollar company. And Blockbuster went bankrupt. What I'm saying is there are little differentiations. It's a place to fulfill a need, and you are going to think, but every need has already been fulfilled. And that is the biggest lie that you can believe about your business. Okay? And too many of you believe it, and too many of you feel helpless in your business. And too many of you think that there is nothing more that you can add to the table or to the conversation or to your artistry that can actually set you apart. And if that's your attitude, your business will fail. I'm sorry, it might take 5 years to fail, but it's going to fail. So you guys, this is why doing your personal work is so important. This is why getting on Instagram and loving the community instead of feeling competitive or jealous, you get to be emotionally mature. The most important thing besides any branding is your emotional maturity and your ability to handle the emotions that get thrown at you on a day-to-day basis. And if you're constantly battling disempowerment, feeling like the market's saturated, feeling like a failure, feeling like somebody just stole your idea and you're not going to ever reclaim it, feeling all those things, that is going to ruin your business. You need to put in the time. I do it 1 hour at least every single day of the personal development so that I am not a roller coaster up and down, always feeling like I hate my job, I love my job, I hate my job, I love my job, right? We are going to feel that on some level, but you, for a very large portion, you can fix that. So when I talk about positioning yourself in the market, I'm talking about looking what everything else has been done before, because everybody's very lazy. They all look at everybody else's website, form their websites like everybody else, offer the same packages as everybody else, take the same photos as everybody else, and then they wonder why they don't book the same, enough jobs. There is a space in your market right now for you to create something or improve on something or do something a little bit differently, even if it's about how you are presenting the personality of your brand. There's a quote, I can't remember who said it, but I always remember it, and it says, people come to you, your clients come to you for what you do, but they stay around for who you are. So the biggest differentiation you can make is who you are. And I feel that many of you get worried about sharing too much, which I understand and I can talk about, being too similar, having, a lot of you haven't even thought in depth about what your mission is and why you're doing this and all of those things. So I'm going to did you guys see there's like this Facebook post of a teacher who just like cried and walked out of her classroom because the kids are all way too entitled? I felt like that as a teacher, and now I feel like that a little bit in our industry. I think we're so used to getting free information. We're so used to having everybody feed us ideas. We're so used to spending all this time, what we think is building brand, but it's really just like entitlement, where we don't actually sit in silence alone with faith in ourselves to problem solve and create beautiful answers. And let me tell you, it's not just for me. It's not just for like Lewis Howes, whose mastermind I just joined. It's not just meant for one person. One person is not just meant to have a big idea. I truly believe all of us have things that heal, promote goodness, help the world become a better place. I believe all of us have a special thing that we get to do with the people who come into our lives every single day. So after position, the final thing is personality. What is the personality? I'm very straightforward. You guys know that. I think I've made a few people cry with my website reviews. I haven't meant to. I just have limited space, and I'm like, I'm the type that's not going to be super sweet and soft and oh, good job. I'm not going to do that because I don't want that, and I don't feel like that causes growth. I'm more of a Rocky Balboa, where it's like, you better get up and you're going to get hit, and you need to, every time you get hit, you need to get up, and there's more for you to do, and you get to have the own empowerment. That's my brand. I am very much not about excuses, not about playing it gently, I'm fine being outspoken. I'm fine telling you I don't like Walmart. I'm fine if I upset you. I'm okay if I upset you. I'm fine talking about people stealing my work. I'm fine. I am totally okay with that. That is my personality, because I just want to get to the chase. I hate when I go and I get on a live or something and people just draw it out and they can't get to the point and all of that. That's a different brand. Now, I am too harsh for some people. There are some people who need it softer, and I don't know. Okay, stop. I'm also have a dirty mind. You get to think about the personality of your brand. Some of you don't need to be the face, right? Coca-Cola doesn't really have a face. They have influencers. And if you run a product-based business, I would definitely consider influencers. It's the new marketing. It's totally, the new marketing is about having people that people trust in front of them. And then we're so influenced these days. It's this whole social media world of what are other people doing? How are they living? Let me watch these stories. Let me get an insight into their lives. We don't get you can have a judgment on it or not. I think it's the way things are going. And so I tried to fight Instagram at the very beginning when it first happened. I was like, I don't want to join another platform. And now I really regret like the 3 years I didn't join Instagram. So now I really embrace the ways, the trends. I keep up on them. I know them. I want to keep a healthy business. Listen, I don't want to go back being a school teacher. Please, God, no, never, never, never. But I am an educator. I am very intelligent. I am able to take a lot of the marketing knowledge out there and focus it truly for creatives to understand, because creatives, I think, can struggle with the really boring apps and the boring conversions and figuring out the numbers and figuring out how to make it work. So you get to think of, what is your brand personality? Think of the people who have the brands that you want. What do they do? Some of them are very quiet and they just post beautiful images. Those people who are quiet, don't feel like they have to share a lot, post beautiful images. In my opinion, their business came to fruition not at this time. So you look back at like Jose Villa, Elizabeth Messina, all of those people, their businesses sort of reached a pinnacle before all the social media sharing happened, and they were already well established. I mean, they have very consistent, beautiful brands. They're very giving. They're just stunning, right? So they, though, started at a different place than you're starting. So some of you fight me on this, but I do think your brand personality is going to be the number one thing that differentiates you today. We are no longer blocked by planes. We are no longer confined to one city. We are no longer confined to one country as artists. We have the ability to go around everywhere we want. And the reason people are going to choose to fly me to Paris to photograph them versus hiring somebody in Paris is my brand personality, my brand values, my mission, my vision, my dedication to my artistry, my innovation, constantly pushing my boundaries, constantly improving myself, making sure I'm emotionally mature, making sure that I can handle my business like a professional, making sure I have beautiful systems in place. You get it? You understand what I'm saying? Those are the key ways that your business will blossom and grow and flourish and be exciting, and you can release the struggle. But so many of you think brand is just the identity, the logo, the color palette, and the grid on Instagram. And it's actually, that's just like 10% of the whole thing, maybe 15%. So that's my thoughts on branding. So thank you for joining. I know I had some questions. Do any of you have questions on here about branding before I pop off? I'm going to just stay on for like 5 more questions, 5 more minutes, and do a Q&A. I had some people ask about how to discover their unique voice, how to define it, what a brand strategist does. Do any of you have questions on here? A brand strategist, for me, it was very helpful to talk to somebody who really understood brand. And what a brand strategist did for me was listen to me talk, interviewed people very close to me, and you have to kind of see how people outside of you perceive your brand and then how you're perceiving it and where are the holes. So he interviewed 3 people outside of my business, all different relationships, and then he talked to me about what my perception of my brand was, and then we came up with my brand values. I have them written down. I've had them written down for years. I think that's why I am so consistent on social media and with what I do, because I'm very aware of what my brand values are, what my mission is, how I position myself, what my personality is. So that's kind of what a brand strategist does, is he or she will take you through various questions to make sure what you're putting out and what you think actually meet. Because I find people who think they're putting out work portfolios that are a $10,000 wedding portfolio, and I can look at it in a minute and say, you're only booking $3,500 clients. And they're like, yes, how do I get up there? I'm like, that's, your brand's not there yet, and they can't see it. So it's almost like having somebody else helping you see. What point in starting a business should you engage in a brand strategist? I would say as soon as you know what your mission is in life, as soon as you know what your business is going to cater to, And I'm happy to do brand strategy sessions with any of you. I have a whole system that I lead people through. And I have my production manager, she conducts the interviews with the other 3 people outside of you. So I did it the second year into my business. And it really, I pull up, I look at it all the time. I readdress. So much of my main missions, though, have stayed the same. Cortez Floral, sorry if I'm saying that wrong. How to share your voice via their own brand if someone is usually shy and does not like to share things about themselves. So if you don't want to be the personality, you still have to decide on a personality. So I don't care if you share in-depth stories about your love life, which I totally want to do. I need to do more. You guys are all dying to hear how Tinder works for me, I'm sure. But what is your brand mission? So you can still pull quotes, testimonials, stories that don't mean you're revealing very private things because you're shy, but you still need to have a voice. Just because you're shy doesn't mean you don't have a voice. Just because you're shy doesn't mean you don't know how to craft words. Just because you're shy doesn't mean, maybe you don't want to do Instagram lives like this, because, I'm obviously really not shy. But you can still affect change, and you can still present a personality to your audience through crafting your words and your stories and your images, okay? What are the things you look for in a brand strategist? Same industry, outside? That's a good question, Jen. I think it's always beneficial to get somebody who's worked with a lot of brands. So I work with a lot of brands. I don't just do photographers. So it was very helpful. My brand strategist, he's really big in the industry. He was a personal friend, so luckily I got a bit of a deal. But he works for big companies in LA, and it was very helpful to see how he brands bigger companies and what kind of information he gave me to do that. And so I've worked with small upstarts to big companies, and it's like the same knowledge, but you want to help. It's how much we have to dig out of you, really, how much you know or don't know about what your brand is. I want to start showing my face on social media more and doing the things I love. Awesome, Stacy. I just need to figure out how to get those. Do you use a self-timer or let someone else do those kinds of shots? Well, this is on a tripod, and I am selfie queen. But yeah, I know a lot of photographer friends. I'm assuming you do too. Just do trades. I just do trades with people because we all want more social media presence. And so just meet up with people. I have hired a couple of photographers who were people they didn't want to do a trade. They needed to be paid, and and I just hired them. But for the most part, I just do trades. I want to say one other thing. I want to talk a little bit about all the ways that we can meet up this year, because I'm not doing the Path workshops. I've had a lot of people email me about the Path workshops. I just have one, and it's Paris, and it's in May, and it has 2 spots left. And it has 4 brilliant shoots that are going to be very artistic. They're going to blow your Pinterest out of the water. You all get my Pinterest course. You get my marketing course. We have special classes. I don't want to give them all away, but I'm really trying to help you network with people in Paris, like wedding planners, dress designers, things like that, so that they're the ones who've got me a lot of the jobs when I've worked in Paris. So, and then we're going to go deep dive into your brand identity, your voice. I'll answer all your questions. I'll take a look at the way you email people. I'll help you craft your emails. It's really like one-to-one, and I honestly don't know if I will do this again. I'm sort of phasing out of the intimate workshops, and I'm moving into a couple of different things, but I think there's nothing better than a group to help you build your business and really be accountable. The reason why I joined a mastermind, the reason why I always have a private business coach, is so that I have that accountability. And I find that when we don't have that accountability, we get 1/3 as much done. People always ask me, like, Darcy, how do you always get so much done? And I say to them, number one, I always have accountability. I always have someone I'm checking in with who I've paid a lot of money to, so that if I'm not doing it, I just feel like I'm wasting my money, right? Like I think the things we invest in and us, we're the best investment we could ever make. I've never invested in myself in a way where I've ever felt like it was a waste of time or money. So your best investment is yourself. So you can come with me to Paris. I am also, for the first time, it's launching in 2 weeks, I'm offering a group coaching program that's cheaper than a workshop. You don't have to leave your home. You have weekly accountability, and I'm going to teach you some of these big marketing strategies for 2019, and I'm going to be looking over your individual business and giving you like very tailored advice. Plus I'm going to be partnering you up with with other people so that you can really start to grow your brand. The people always ask, like, how can I get into these wedding planners and how can I get these high-end places? And I always want to say, start with who you're on the same level with. The reason I am getting, I get such great stylists and great vendors to come to my things is we all started at the same time, and at that time we worked together, we became friends, I kept in touch with them, and then as every year as you grow and grow and grow and grow, you're all elevated. So then when these newbies come along, they're like, oh my gosh, how did you get to work with all these people? It's like, I made friends with the people who started when I did, and we came up together. That's the whole reason I'm stopping to do one-to-one coaching, because I have realized over the past year, I'm like, it's so much more powerful in a group. You can still get that one-to-one attention from me, but then you have more of a group you're accountable with, and it's crazy. So I'm doing a group coaching for people who are making under 200,000. If you're making 200,000 and above, I'm doing a very special mastermind where we will be meeting 4 times for the year, and I'm having very special guests come because I've been networking my butt off out in LA, and I'm going to have some really awesome people come to my mastermind to help you guys grow, because it's all about growth. It's about excitement. This is what I'm talking about with emotional maturity. It's so much about getting yourself pumped up every day and knowing that you can be there, be to the place where you want to be. I'm also teaching at Ascend Workshop, which I'm doing a live with Sharon tomorrow, and we're going to talk more about your mindset, your mental mindset. So if you guys want to, when I say emotional maturity, if you want to have like a deeper discussion about that, join me tomorrow live here, 11:30 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. And I'm teaching at Hybrid Co, but I think my spots are almost sold out. So take a look there. And I'm teaching at Evolve Workshops. I'm just at everything this year, which is awesome because I want to meet all of you. But the Ascend Workshop, go check it out. Sharon just commented. She just said yes at the bottom. And she's pressed paper. Go hit on her link with Ascend. I'll put a link in my profile tomorrow when we're doing our lives too, so that I can meet you guys. What I would really love is to meet you all in person, because that's where the true growth in business comes, when you make those one-to-one connections. And I think all of us who have been on our cell phones for a really long time, we understand that more lately than we have for a while. So yeah, okay, any final questions? It was fun to pop on. I love talking about business so much. I just love it. It's so exciting to me. I get so excited that I just like have to share it. And I'm out there shooting weddings myself. I'm still in the arena. I'm booking tons of shoots. I just did an awesome shoot for a girl I met in my mastermind for her book cover last weekend, which was just super amazing how many beautiful jobs get to come your way that you never dreamed of. So it's really exciting. Suzanne, I'm so excited to meet you at Ascend, and I'm so excited, Michelle, to meet you at Hybrid. Woo woo. Okay, everybody, have an amazing day. Go do your brand mission values. Let me know if you have questions. Branding is really key. So the end. Okay, that's it. Bye.